Alright, welcome back. Diving once again into SNK's Pre-NeoGeo days. Next game I'm going to play for you is called Tank. And yes, it is spelled a little weird in the marquee, but, well, that's what's on the title screen. Give it a moment to come up here. I'm actually going to pause it here. So A, that you can confirm how it's spelled there. P-A-N-K. The little dots between three letters. And I want you to take a closer look at the letters themselves. It's subtle. And it's actually subtler when I have the game paused because the emulator dims the screen a little. But if you look closely, you should see this actually writing on top of those letters. Graffiti style. And it's actually game credits. A little something extra. I should mention that this is actually the Japanese version of the game. It was released in the US under the name TNK3 for whatever reason. It's not a third game. I have no idea why they did that whatsoever, because there really doesn't seem to be anything else changed or different between them. So there you have it. But yeah, you can see that there's actually writing in there. And this game is a lot quieter than those other ones, so let me turn it up a bit. Now, this is the first of the SNK games that has a rotary joystick. Thing they became very fond of in the future. They had quite a few other rotary joystick games. In fact, I'm planning on at least briefly touching on those. This game of a tank with machine guns and a cannon and a rotating turret that moves independent of the tank itself. Yeah. Much like Alpha Mission, we've got letters to give us power-ups. Takes several to get a nice boost here. So there's one really nice thing about this game. Well, you know what? I'll play it first. I'll get to that. This game is surprisingly workable. Quite a bit of latitude on your movement. Most of the soldiers, of course, you can just run over. You are in a tank. But later on, there are some blue ones which are actually saboteurs, and they will destroy your tank outright if they hit it. But you might imagine your tank doesn't blow up on a single hit. You do have that energy bar, which SNK invented down there. There are some things that can take out your tank pretty quickly, though. Note that the machine guns, of course, are mounted to the front of the tank, so they fire in whatever direction you last moved in. But your turret, you can aim independently. The actual arcade machine had a rotary joystick, as they call it. Not only can you tilt it up, down, left, and right, you can twist the top of it. You did not see my hands on camera there during that. Sorry. Yeah, twist as well as tilt. And twisting it a notch rotates the tank's turret 45 degrees. Those gold tanks are armed to the teeth. I actually have auto-fire right now. I've grabbed enough Vs for that to be a thing. It doesn't last indefinitely. But it does last a while, and it is brutal. You want to play a game that makes you feel like a total badass. I can't recommend this one enough. Ooh, I took a solid hit there. Hopefully I'll find some energy. You can see the arrow directing me to where I need to go, but I don't necessarily have to go that way. Of course, there's a mine blocking that passage right now, so I think I'll circle around instead. Yeah, those anti-tank grenades soldiers from behind the walls and whatnot throw, those are the real deal. You do not want those landing on you. I didn't want to back up quite that far. This is a game that I played for the first time, literally, like an hour or two before I started to stream. But it turns out that this game, although I had certainly never heard of it, apart from maybe seeing its name listed there as something the emulator can play, is actually notable for a number of things. It turns out that this game is a prequel of sorts to several different series of games. We'll get a bit more into that later. But suffice it to say, this game is very playable and a lot of fun. Here is when it's actually showing a bit of challenge. There are these submarines, I guess they are, or at least probes or stations of some kind, that pop out under the water and drop bombs. They are very dangerous, and they seek you out. You don't get them shot down pretty much as soon as they pop out. You're in a world of hurt. I don't have auto-fire anymore. Wore out. Ah! Go away! They're not a one-hit kill, but they take off a lot of energy. Ooh. Well, that's mean-spirited. I guess I'm going to have to circle around a bit. Here we go. Oh, grabbed enough Fs in order to have the shot. Stronger bullets. A lot of work went into actually a bit of animation to even just the basic foot soldier dying. It's a very, very impressive piece of work. I'm surprised that this game is not as well known as it should be. Ugh. Ugh, stop it! Alright. With that energy bar, you'd think I would have only one life. Especially given how far it seems far I've gone. But no, you do actually have lives. The game is quite playable. This game actually made it difficult for me to get more research done because I wanted to keep playing it. Go away. Ugh. Ouch. That was really poor. What does my computer want now? It's been like this all night. I can't believe this. That hasn't changed. What are you doing to me? Eesh. I don't know what caused that hiccup. I apologize. And of course I'm dead now. Would I say it's an easy game? The first level is very easy. It gives you a great opportunity to get used to the game, but it ramps up pretty fast. I would say it's a very playable game. Get out these planes. Ugh! The gun shoots faster than the turret does, unless you've grabbed 5 Vs and gotten, oops, auto-fire going. Got nailed by a pillbox. Ugh, there we go. Really? There we go. Ugh. Ah! Those bombs are brutal. Longer range shot. Finally off of those frickin' docks. There we go. Are those bronze looking? Ooh, I failed to fit in between those. Now, those bronze looking tanks are very tough. Whoa! I do not want those grenades to hit me. Ugh. Barely squeezed through there. Okay. Come on. There we go. Tough little bastards. Oof. They're, getting their shots out here. There we go, there's one of them down. Whoa! Requesting Iron Tank. It's funny that you should mention that, because I was just going to go there. This game, as I mentioned, has several series that it can consider itself the precursor to. First and foremost, there was a direct sequel to this game. And that was released on the Famicom. Oh, darn! That game did get a port to the NES under the name Iron Tank, The Invasion of Normandy. So that game is actually the sequel to this one that I was just playing. Oops. What? What are you doing? I know it gives me 10 letters. E-M-E-I-S-T-E. That was disappointing. As was my performance. I mean, you can see I did a lot better last time. And once again, just like in Alpha Mission, that thank you for playing. And this time it's a little cat that bows its head. And of course, continuing, which again, they pioneered. Yeah, going through the games of one company like this in succession, it's interesting to see the evolution of them as you go along. Yeah, definitely a fun little game there. Very playable. So, the other thing that I would mention is that, although there was no evidence of this in my playing the game, apparently the driver of this tank has a name. Ralph. It's spelled R-A-L-F. For whatever reason. And the following year, SNK produced 1986 another rotary joystick game starring the same protagonist. In fact, they added in a partner by the name of Clark, and it's actually two-player simultaneous rotary joystick game, although this time they're on foot. But you can find tanks and commandeer them. You've probably heard of this one before. For whatever reason, this game is decidedly better known. I remember seeing this in a lot of arcades back in the day. Ralph was in the tank because he had to give his enemies a fighting chance. Turn that down a little. So where to begin with this game? Okay. You probably either loved this game or hated it with a passion, and that probably depended entirely on what platform you played it on. If you played it in the arcade, you probably loved it. It was like, yes! I can be Rambo! If you played it on the NES, you were probably sorely disappointed. At least until you learned how easy the continue code was. Well, first thing I'm going to mention off the bat, here's your Japanese lesson for the night. It's pronounced Ikari. It's not Ikari, as I usually heard back in the day, but Ikari. It is Japanese for fury. As a matter of fact, the title of the game in Japan is simply Ikari. There's no warriors or anything appended to it. I'm actually kind of surprised they even left the Japanese word in the US title at all. There you have it. Right. The NES game tries to sort of emulate how the arcade has a rotary joystick, and making your character slowly turn. Pretty obnoxious, really. It makes the game pretty much unplayable. They did a lot better with its sequel, which I'm not going to be playing, but there are two direct sequels to this, Victory Road, which was also ported to the NES, and that's a lot more playable on the NES than this is. And another one, Ikari 3, The Rescue, where of a fighting chance. Ralph and Clark don't even bring firearms. They just use their fists and they punch out the enemies. I'm not even kidding. But I will not be playing those tonight, and I'm probably not going to accomplish much playing this one tonight either. Because, although I haven't tested it, I have a nagging suspicion that there's going to be an issue here that I know another game I'm going to be playing after this will have. But that, thankfully, Tank did not have. And I can't say I know why. It is an emulation issue, it's not a problem with the original game. Let me give it a quick test here. So I suspect... No, this one's actually fine. This is going to be playable. Okay, great. Perhaps the first thing you might notice is that I have limited ammo. I have 99 bullets and a whopping 50 grenades. You end up using a lot of grenades in this game simply because you have so bloody many of them. Those aren't power-ups, so to speak. Those are ammo replenishment. With working controls, and it was hard to find an arcade machine back in the day where the rotary joystick actually did work right. With working controls, this game is a blast. No pun intended. It's a lot of fun. Very playable. Seems to throw a lot of enemies at you, but it's actually very survivable. Okay, that is an actual power-up of sorts, I think. If I run faster. Larger enemy sprites this time around, although they don't animate nearly as well. And of course, Ralph and Clark have received another lease on life as they are playable, along with some of their supposed compatriots in the King of Fighters series of fighting games. So, this music, though. Ugh! Off my back. Here we go. And yes, of course he knows how to drive a tank. But he had in the original. Throw grenades from a tank, you pop in or out of it with the grenade button. You have very limited fuel in these commandeered tanks, but you can find these gas pickups. Floating mines. The tank can't go in the water, but on foot you can. There we go. I wasn't sure it would let me grab that. Figured it was worth trying. Nope! Get out! Ah! I didn't get out soon enough. Yeah, when your tank takes a lethal hit, you need to get out of it pretty quickly, because it will blow up. And that explosion is lethal to you. Even if you're just still near the tank, forget in it. Of course, when you're in a tank, you can also ignore enemy bullets. And indeed, the enemies themselves, you can run right through them. Oh, rockets, on the other hand, are a problem. There we go. You can see, when tanks blow up, they blow up big. Oh, I walked right into that! Over yet, though. Ugh. Eh. I should note that you do actually use ammo when you're in the tank. And it doesn't have its own ammo. For some strange reason, your grenade supply gets used as the shots you fire. I have no explanation for this. It's just what the game does. Oh, I got killed hopping out of the tank. A great, fun little game. Sort of a... Whoops. Darn, I totally screwed that up. Yes, it is a very fun, very playable game. It was very popular in the arcades back in the day. I saw it at lots of them. People were very fond of them, but the rotary joysticks often seemed to wig out a lot. But when you found one that was working properly, the game was great fun. To me, it was well worth it. It's like, oh, okay, that's not going to work. Let me try the other slot. You can play Clark independently of Ralph, I think. No, actually, you can't. But yeah, if Clark's controls were working, I often felt it was worth the 2 tokens, 2 quarters in order to play as the other guy. As I mentioned, that became an entire trilogy in and of itself, and the characters, of course, appeared in another game series later on. There is one other rotary joystick game of SNK's that I wanted to touch on real quickly. I would also mention there was another game called Time Soldiers that they worked on. That might have actually been one of ADK's games. Yeah, it was. SNK published. And that's got some interesting mechanics to it, Time Soldiers. It's kind of fun. I'm not going to be playing that one tonight, though. But I did want to at least briefly fire up this other one. And I apologize that it's not going to be as playable as I would like, and that's because there's an emulation issue with it. And I'm going to bring that up once I get it loaded up. The Japanese title for this game is Guevara, as in Che Guevara, revolutionary. And indeed, the Player 1 character is supposed to be that. And the Player 2 character is Fidel Castro. Unsurprisingly, when this game got released in the US, they changed the name there and cut off the those sorts of connections, as it were. But, yeah. That's still a pretty recognizable photo there. Hail the heroes of the revolution. I am speaking, of course, of guerrilla war. I'm pretty sure I just spelled that correctly. Now, as an arcade game with a rotary joystick, you can see we have even more sprites than we do in Ikari Warriors. We have voices. You have hostages to rescue, and that's perhaps the best mechanic in this game. You earn 1,000 points for every hostage you rescue, but they can die to your own fire. And if you kill one, you lose 500 points. So this is definitely a game for the careful. And you have unlimited gun ammo in this game, which is a lot friendlier to work with. You still have limited grenades, but it's a very sizable chunk. So here's the problem, and I'm going to take a moment to show this off. Whatever reason, this game, and a lot of rotary joystick games in MAME, have this bug where you can't rotate through every position. Huh. I was testing it out earlier and it wasn't working, but it is working here. Huh. We might actually have a playable game here. That's weird. Let me reload it because I just lost a couple of of hostages. It does this thing where every 12th time you rotate in one direction, it doesn't actually have your character rotate in-game. It logs the fact that you did press it, and if you press it again, it will actually, like, skip directions. And it will do that, like, every 12th step. And the reason why is because the arcade console, the actual arcade hardware, the joystick, rotates 30 degrees every notch, not 45. So it's actually 12 to a full rotation. And there's something misconfigured to where that 12th notch doesn't count. It gets registered, but it doesn't actually get sent to the character in the game. I don't know the actual nature of this. Supposedly newer versions of MAME still have this issue. Lord BBH, I know, has fought with it every now and then. Yes, Arcus kills the hostages all the time because he's speedrunning the game. But for whatever reason, it's not doing it now. So, yeah, we've got a playable game here. I'll see what I can do with it, then. This game... Oh, ouch, already? Darn. This game is a lot harder than it looks. Ikari Warriors looks hard, but it's actually pretty playable. This game looks deceptively easy. It's actually very difficult. Here we have a special weapon. Have a long-range rocket launcher here. Oh. You can walk into the foxholes. Oh, darn. Really? Oh, darn. They got him. Ugh. There we go. You can actually commandeer the tanks in this game, too. And again, I'm firing my grenade ammo. At least they're consistent. Oh, get out! Ah! This game also has an NES version released. Uh-oh. Computer's hiccuping. Okay, there it goes. Oh, really? Holy crap! I'm not even done talking about it yet. Sheesh. Alright, I'll give it another run. That's just brutal. Am I disappointed? No. No, I'm not disappointed at all. I'm actually very glad that I can play it. Ugh. Grenades can destroy those little blocks. Guess they're sand piles, right? This game did have an NES version released, and they did not, thanks Sanity, do what they did with Ikari Warriors and Victory Road. They got rid of the rotary joystick concept entirely and just made it play more like Capcom's Commando. And they made it what is literally, in my opinion, the single most action-packed game on the NES. If you have not played the NES version of Guerrilla War, look it up. Give it a try. It is awesome. Actually, I have a highlight of a halfway decent game of it. I didn't finish. I was playing on hard. I think I got 1.3 million out of it. Should be able to... Oh! I take the grenade just as I get into the tank. Sheesh. was bad. Yeah, if you think Commando is a fun game, give Guerrilla War a try. I practically guarantee you, you'll love it even more. It is amazingly good. But here's the original arcade release. Very similar to Ikari Warriors. With a few interesting little additional mechanics in it. That can be blown up. There we go. Now we're on a farm. Oof! Ugh. Ouch. Yeah. Yeah, this game is very, very brutal. If you think that Ikari Warriors is too easy, give this one a try. This one will give you a run for your money. Yeah, this is a fine game though. It actually would probably look better if I didn't adjust the aspect ratio on it. Come to think of it, they didn't really adjust for the different pixel size. But it's so narrow when you don't. but it does actually look a little better. The tanks are more square. It's for whatever reason when they did the art, they didn't really adjust it properly. But, yeah, it is what it is. I'll just, I will now move on. Do the piggies appear? I think so, but it's just so difficult that, yeah, I'd have a ways to go before I saw them, I think. Yeah. Oh, but it is great stuff. Alright, I kind of wish I could skip the next two games that I'm going to play, but I can't. It would not be right for me to do this. And I'm actually going back a year now. I did sort of break rank and chronology in order to dive down the tank rabbit hole there to show you all of those. I need to back up to 86 to show you another couple of games here. This is one that you might be familiar with. There was an NES version, which is actually not that bad compared to the arcade game, anyway. Cute little game called Athena. Where you play some version of the titular Greek goddess. That's a bit loud. Let me turn that down a little. Yeah, I guess that'll do. This game gives you quite the variety of weapons and equipment that you can find and use. Kick the enemies to start, but in very short order we grab a club, and then a mallet. Whoa! That was unpleasant. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this game was requested one of my Friday night sessions. There we go, let's not get stuck. Much better. Yeah. These plants grow hearts, which we can collect for extra health. We can break these walls, and now we have, I think those are high jump boots? Oh, I seem to be running faster. Now I have a shield. Now I have armor. Dive down into this little area here. Ooh! Some hits here. Yeah, it's quite a variety of paths that you can follow through the levels here. And lots of stuff to find if you're willing to take the time to look for it. Oof! Ouch. Yes, the NES version of the game is actually surprisingly accurate. Pretty well done. It's very comparable. I think the longer you've been running determines how high you jump, or something to that effect. I know there's a way to jump extra high. Actually, you saw that once already. I'm just going to keep advancing across for now. Here we go, we have a helmet. Satisfying to just break walls rather than always have to climb around ladders or whatnot. Okay, that big shiny heart actually increased my maximum health. Ooh. Ah. Now I have a crystal ball. You can see where items are hidden. For the record, I don't know what all of these do. Oh, if I was going to get that one, I had to take a different approach. Ooh, that was close. Pop those. Pop. Oof! Ow! A bow! Great idea! Oh, whoops. That club, not nearly as great an idea. And I just fell down. Ooh. Ah! They got me. But this is not a bad game at all. It's not the most playable, perhaps. The most early action platformers are a little janky, but this one's actually not bad at all. This takes a little bit of getting used to. This character apparently was very much liked by SNK, and they ended up making another character sort of inspired by her. Canonically, they're not the same being, as far as I can tell. I've done a little bit of looking into that, and they're not supposed to be the same person. But the similarity should become obvious in the next game that I play, which I suppose you could call a spiritual sequel. Although, and that's sort of why they kept the same first name of the protagonist anyway. But it's not precisely... What? The same thing. This game is perhaps most famous for the fact that its music has vocals. See, here we have Psycho Soldier. Let me bring this up. It's from later in the same year. And this game is apparently a lot quieter than the last one. I need to crank this up. So here we have... Yes, this is Athena Asamiya. She and Kinsu are playable. No Greek goddess here. He's an idol with psychic powers. And yes, the two of them are again playable in King of Fighters games. You actually jump up and down with your joystick. Oh, whoops. You have a basic shot and a strong blast. This song, though. Some things from Athena, like I did say, spiritual sequel, I can still chop through walls, pick up weapons. But yeah, as you can see, it automatically scrolls. Multiple floors, you just go up and down between, much like Capcom's Sun. It's a very different feeling game. Oh, shut up. Take or leave the voices. Whoa, I should not have that egg. That egg should have gone into the trash. Oof! Ouch! I do like how this, yeah, they give you this saucer, some temporary invulnerability and firepower at the start of a new life. Yeah, it starts out friendly enough, but it gets brutal very quickly. But, yeah, how many games can you think of? It is the classic SNK S on the logo there. How many games can you think of from back in the day, around the time this came out, where there were actual lyrics to the theme music? So yeah, it's a pretty memorable game. I'm going to stop that now. But yeah, there it is. Yet another game that SNK returned to for characters when it came to filling in their King of Fighters rosters. Okay. So, moving back forward in time, back to 1987, I actually forget the nature of this game. As a matter of fact, I'm struggling to remember if I've ever played it before at all, or not. Bermuda Triangle. Well, I guess it's time for me to find out. Guess that's it, alright. And that looks extra thin. I'm going to have to do this thing for it. There we go. Down Down, left, right, 2 buttons. It is a... Oh, that's loud. That's still loud. The Japanese version, Athena is voiced by a professional singer. The US version is the office manager's daughter or something. Alright, you know what? Because you mentioned that. Alright, I will fire up the Japanese version briefly. Just long enough to, long enough to hear the other version of it here. Of course, I have to turn the volume back up again. I know it plays during the demo, so... Oh, that does sound a lot better, yeah. I give SNK full credit, however, for actually translating the song for the US version, rather than just removing it entirely, which is what companies usually do with things like this in games. There you go. Hope you feel better. Alright, so Bermuda Triangle, which is known in Japan as World Wars. Apparently a scrolling shooter with very cute music. And I need to turn this down again quickly before it gets noisy. This music, though. I can just hold in the fire button. That's good. It's a rarity for scrolling shooters at the time. I don't seem to actually have a... Well, I can actually, the enemies are close anyway, I can fire better by mashing. It's interesting that one button handles both weapon systems. Usually it's a separate button for the air and ground shots. And I now have energy, and I assume that's going to make something happen with the second button? Well, maybe not. Maybe not until I fill it full. Whoa! Oh, and you get hit, the game just lets you know about it right quick. So far, the second button hasn't done anything. Get back up here, you coward! There we go. This is as far down as I can move on the screen, by the way. I feel like I should be able to move a lot lower than that. Makes me think that at some point enemies are going to come up from the bottom of the screen, and they wanted to make absolutely certain I had plenty of time to react. That hasn't happened yet, though. Oh, wow, I'm starting to feel a little badass here. Those ground bombs are making very loud explosions, even on the surface of the water. Oh, of course I have to blow the top off a volcano to stop it from spewing. Of course I do. Video game logic. And that second button still hasn't done anything. Ooh, it might do something here. Yes, it does. It changes the formation of those... Oh! Wow. Okay, then. Yeah, I'm gonna keep you guys in front. Howard... Yeah, changes the formation of those. Oh, we got a boss. Like a ground-based boss? Or can I... No, I can hit it with the air shot. Okay. Whoa! Okay, so it fires shots that ricochet off the bottom of the screen. I can't get near the bottom of the screen. That makes that really difficult. Sheesh. Yeah, I don't know what was exactly happening with those little planes, but it seemed to be pretty awesome. Oh, ow. Okay, so this game's a little brutal. That electrical attack was consuming energy? That music was awesome. You know what? That was short. I'm gonna put another credit in. Yeah, of course you lose your power-ups when you die. It's an old-school shooter. And they send you back a checkpoint. Yeah, the Gradius effect. Yeah. I want to see if I can beat that boss. I will not give it a third credit, though. I'm either going to do it here or move on. I don't have the time to linger on this for too long. You still have several other games to get through. It's certainly a playable enough game. I just wish I could move down lower on the screen. That restriction's pretty rough. I like how you have a distance meter telling you exactly how far away you are from the boss. Sometimes it's the simple little things. And we have another volcano, which I can probably destroy before it even fires, yeah. Here comes the fun part. Yeah, it seems that the only purpose these other planes serve is to release these energy bursts. Maybe what I should do with these guys is put them behind me. Oh, that didn't help. I came at me straight at a 45-degree angle. I'm not activating that electrical attack. I'm pretty sure that's automatic. I'm pretty sure that's what the small planes do. And they... Really? Ugh. I should do a bit more... Are those things like homing after they bounce on the... Yes, yes they are. Each and every one that hits the bottom, even after I'm dead, is heading for my last location. Unbelievable! Okay, I'll have to dodge each and every one of those things twice. Something I'll have to remember. Yeah, I clearly have some more to learn about this game. I will have to spend some time with it. I really want more. What if I can deduce any demo here? Maybe not. Whoa, how'd you fire diagonally? What? Alright, hold on a second. You're kidding me! Holy crap! Okay. So apparently this game also has a rotary joystick. Here's something I wasn't expecting. I almost put a game in a Throwback Thursday and failed to mention basic controls for it. That thing. Alright, unfortunately this game seems to actually have that bug I mentioned before about skipping locations when it rotates. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. I actually don't have the controls set up for that properly. I don't know yet. Yeah, this changes quite a few things. I'm glad I fired it back up again, watched the demo. Holy crap! You see, this is why I want to have more time to research my Throwback Thursdays. I should have known about this in advance. I shouldn't be playing games on a TBT blind unless there's something someone else requested. So, let me quit and reload this. Sometimes I'm the person who learns things on these. And I'm fine with this. That is actually working correctly. Okay. I was testing Guerrilla War earlier, and it was doing the bug, and I have no idea why, but, working now. No complaints here. I wonder if it's one of those things where... if it's, like a setting that you just change. For some games, you need to exit out, open it up again before it actually works properly. I don't know. Oh, those bombs only fire straight forward. Angling the gun does nothing for them. Actually doesn't seem to be much use to rotating the gun, but it's nice it's there. Well, I'm glad that this at least is not one thing that BBH will be in my stream tomorrow telling me I missed. That this game does actually have a rotary joystick. So it'll probably just be 6 things he'll have to tell me about games I played tonight that I didn't mention. Instead of 7. Yeah, yep. It's actually, it is based on the formation that they're sitting at. Here I have here they drop bombs in a wider spread. Here they have straight shots. And here they do that electric field thing. Alright, I'm going to try to not die to the very first shot he fires. There we go. Oh, and I got sucked downward. Not in the Bermuda Triangle anymore. I'm in the Antarctic somehow. Most games whose titles are locations are named after the location of the final stage, not the first. So that's actually kind of curious to me. Being able to angle the gun was useful there. I need to remember I can just hold in the fire button. Situation gets ugly. I can just relax a little. Nice to not get directly underneath the enemies and still shoot them. I lost all my my wingmen though. I noticed they were taking damage. Oh, no! Alright, so what I needed to do there was pull forward and then shoot back at it. Once I got ahead of him. Yeah, now being able to aim the main gun is proving very important. Huh? Press the button again. Don't flake on it. Okay. Ooh. For the sake of the record, I like this game. I am enjoying this. Wish it was a wish I had figured it out a little sooner, though. I know I'm gonna be running overtime tonight. But that's okay, because I got such a late start, it's just as well. Ooh. We got now. It's a rather feline-looking vehicle. I've had it with you. Oh, okay. Off to Hawaii. This music, though. Seriously? This is a rather playable game, actually. Only my third credit, and doing fairly decently now. Hey, I got the little planes again. I'm fine with that. That functions like a Mega Crush. That seems to hit the entire screen, actually, not just what's around me. But that does cost me power-up meter to use. Oh! They snuck one in. Need more energy. Here we go. Oof. Nope. Oh, I can't do it anymore. I need all 3 planes for that. Ah, I didn't angle my gun fast enough. Need to remember that's a thing. I'm not used to having that in a shoot 'em up like this. Rolling shooter with a rotary joystick. I can't think of any other game of this nature that has that. I just totally fumbled that. Something fierce. Oh, well, thank you for letting me see I get to put my initials in very clearly. Big glowing arrow. like I said, sometimes it's the little things. Well, I'm impressed. That's Bermuda Triangle. Known as World Wars in other countries, apparently, or at least in Japan. Definitely a, unique little shooter there. One I didn't know about. Alright. Moving right along. Yeah, it's down here. Okay, pressing on to 1988. Oh my word. We've only got 2 years left. Okay. I'm not entirely sure what I'm in here for either. Now, this is the Japanese version of this game. But you can see a translation of the title right there. Legend of Air Cavalry. Does this have a rotary joystick? I feel compelled to check. No, it doesn't. Okay. Yes. Boku Kihei Monogatari. We've been over Monogatari before. Legend of Air Cavalry. This game was released in the US under the title Chopper 1. But this is what I have for whatever reason, so this is what I will play. And besides, I like this title better. Innoleader, good to see you here. You have missed quite a bit. Quite a bit. Although not as much as you might think given what time it is, because I did have a lot of technical issues getting started. But the whole thing will be highlighted. This is a proper Throwback Thursday. We've got, what, 2 buttons for this? Yes, we do. Okay. Ooh, I wonder if that's supposed to be Hydern. That would be awesome.
All right, let's go.
moves pretty quickly. Alright, so that would be your classic screen-clearing bomb type weapon there on the other button. This feels like a much more modern scrolling shooter. Something closer to what Full Plan would produce. Whoa. More hits than I would expect. Oh, Jelly Dots is actually here! Hi! Thank you for that host. Greatly appreciate it. I'm in a helicopter and I'm being attacked with catapults. This is interesting. Oh, my shots hit those walls. I'm guessing my helicopter would hit those walls. Wait, seriously? Oh, I had to shoot through the net to break it off. Oh, no, they got me. I do fire automatically if I hold in the button, like this. I can shoot a lot faster than that. It's a separate press, but it's not even that hard. Whoa! That was brutal. With so much space being taken up with the HUD at the top of the screen, this feels a little claustrophobic, I have to say. The nets are an interesting thing. A large projectile, a lot harder to dodge, but doesn't actually kill you. It just makes you easier to kill, keeps you from shooting for a bit. I do like that. Uh-oh. I see something on the radar.
Look out! Enemy coming!
I like the voice. Thing is just... Oh, it's a flamethrower! Oh, you know the thing about flamethrowers in video games. Something tells me this one's a little... bad. Whoa! It's a large shot, though. I don't even know what that thing was, but it's broken now. Pew pew pew!
Alright, let's go!
Not without its issues, but this is fun. This is a fun game here. There you go. Alright, thank you. How nice of them to plant explosives on their fence for me. Whoa! That thing was packing a spread gun. US flag. This is the Japanese version of the game, I will remind you. Not complaining. Continued. Third coin in play. I'll have to see if I can dig up the US version of this at some point. It's a fun game. Kinda nice. A Legend of Air Cavalry. Or Chopper 1 outside of Japan. I think I prefer this title. I know I prefer this title. What am I doing here? There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, the next couple that I'm going to play, I know there were NES versions of. This next one I don't have a lot of experience with, although I'm almost certain I picked up the NES cart. I just never actually got around to playing it for whatever reason. So I actually don't know what I'm in for, but by all rights, I should. Shame on me. Game called Mechanized Attack. Still an 88 here. Get this open. I do have the US version of this one. Oh, that's right. Hold on, this is a... I'm going to have to enable mouse support for this. This is a light gun game. I forgot about that. I'm gonna have to boost its sensitivity a bit here.
Mechanized attack.
There we go, that's better. Yeah. Looks very Operation Wolfish to me. Fire and grenade. Yep, that's what I thought. Light gun. Alright.
Okay, let's fight.
There is a later game on the same hardware as this that I'm a lot more familiar with. You might even know what game that is, or can guess. This is hard. I'm sending everything at me here. Yes, this is definitely a rat-a-tat game, and I'm almost out of life already. I didn't have a lot of grenades, they're all gone already. Some way, somehow, I'm still playing this. I'm kind of surprised, frankly. Yeah, this game was clearly balanced for 2 players.
Oh! You are dead.
One player alone does not stand a chance. Oh. Oops. Really? That's how you put your initials in? Oh. Ugh. There was a back arrow. There we go. Probably gonna run out of time before I finish it now. How did... Sorry about the mouse. Yeah. I know there's an NES game under the same title, Mechanized Attack, but, I've never actually played it.
Mechanized attack.
I'm pretty sure it uses the zapper, so I think it is the same style of game. Yeah, the similarity of this game to Operation Wolf is kind of obvious, but this is really, really brutal. Holy crap. I think 1 credit was enough of that, but I did feel compelled to fire that up. I am decidedly more familiar with the next game, although I'm not necessarily any better at it. This is another one that got an NES port. And this is sort of one of those cult classic games. It's a little weird, but it is kind of fun if you're in the right mood for it. It's called POW, Prisoners of War. Which is kind of weird because, well, I mean, what POW stands for is Prisoners of War. So they subtitled it with the title. It reads, Prisoners of War, Prisoners of War. In much the same way that Manos, the Hands of Fate, translates to Hands, the Hands of Fate. But it is what it is. Now, perhaps the most famous thing about this game here is a sound effect. And it will be used again in a later game, probably the last one I'll be playing tonight. A sound effect that's very SNK. You'll be hearing it quite a few times. When you knock an enemy down, they play it. Yeah, these guys got themselves captured just so they can break out and rescue people. Got punch, jump, kick, and... there it is. I can't imitate it very well. One more punch should do it. I still don't know what exactly that sound effect is supposed to be, but there you have it. Ooh, whoops. Ugh. Enemies get sent flying in this game when they get knocked down. The strangest thing about this game is that you can kick multiple times in one jump. That's the noob strat for survivals. Just mashing those jump kicks. The Green Raver, welcome. Thank you for that follow. Hope you enjoy your stay here. Yeah, that's basically the SNK equivalent of the Wilhelm scream, yes. And I just, ooh, got knocked right out of his hand. But yes, you can actually commandeer the enemy's weapons in this game. I just sent them flying off screen with that knife. But that's okay because this guy has a gun. Ooh. Is the game over already? Screw it, I'll continue. Like I said, not necessarily any better at it. Really? Bloody hell. I want a gun. It sounds like it's trying to say something, but it's totally unintelligible. Ugh. Jump kick mashing. Enough of your grenades. Sheesh. Huh, green berets. Actually wearing green berets. Go figure. Ah. Seriously? Did one of them just kill another one? There we go. I never really sort of mastered how you're supposed to fight well in this game. I die pretty quickly. The NES version isn't much more playable than this one. Almost a little too accurate. Hey, a gun, gimme. There we go. And now the punch button actually does a pistol whip. For the enemies can try to duck your shots, though. I've got 10 trigger pulls. You can actually see the ammo counter up top there. Here we go. For some reason, when you're out of ammo, you continue attacking with the butt of the gun. You just can't shoot it anymore. And you can't kick when you're carrying it either. You'd think there'd be a way to drop it, but you actually need to get hit, have it knocked out of your hands. He just does not want to let go of that gun. Ah, gotcha. I swear this game actually gets easier as you advance into it, at least for a little while. There you go. You must belong to the end. I'm not touching that. Alright, that was enough of that. Yes, that is POW, Prisoners of War. Fun little beat 'em up there. You can play with 2 players at once. Yes, Prisoners of War. Prisoners of War. With that, fun little sound effect. I love that. Okay, I've got one more game from 1988 that I will play. And then 3 that I will play from 1989, and I will call it there. I would have liked to squeeze in maybe a few more, but I think I will have covered a decent chunk. It's already past the time I'm normally done streaming, but I had so many issues at the beginning that going overtime is something I almost feel compelled to do. Oh, actually, no, that's an 80K game. I'm not playing that tonight. I'm going to skip right past that one. Okay, so we're now moving on to, one isn't either, right? Nah, I didn't think so. Okay. So we're now moving on to 1989. This was the year before the NeoGeo came out. And all of SNK's 1990 games, and indeed all the way forward from there up to, I want to say, 2001. Maybe a few beyond that even, were all on the NeoGeo. Or its prototype successor. Oops, I lost track of where I was on my list here. Okay. So I did mention that Beast Busters might look a little familiar to you play style-wise. The engine might look a little familiar. There's a game that saw a lot of popularity in arcades on the same hardware that was a lot more regularly found in arcades, at least in my experience. A game called Beast Busters. Oh, and I'm going to have to turn on mouse control for this one too, obviously. The the graphics of this game were very impressive for their time. I remembered this game being very well liked. Probably going to have to do the exact same sensitivity boost I did. 'Cause, 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 Go. Yeah, very, very similar. This game is very quiet. No one knows what happened here. One sure thing, we'll risk our lives. I seem to have... Oh. Oops, hold on a moment. I know what happened. Okay. Fixed it. Fixed it. Yeah. This game was very common in arcades back in the day. Pretty sure it's the same two buttons. Yeah. Same hardware, same gun.
Okay.
This town is doomed. Those who enter never return. We've come to solve the mystery. Section 1, Mystery Zone. Yeah. Zombie canines! You can see there's a much steadier stream of ammo and grenades that's naturally rained down. A much more playable game, but still pretty tough. Ah. It has actually been quite some time since I've given this a shot. No pun intended. Yeah, the nice big sprites that pop up right at the front. It is a pretty game for some definition of pretty. Did a good job with the sprite scaling effects there. Oh, taking more damage than I thought. Oh, wow. Was taking a lot more damage than I thought. That's the way these sorts of games tend to go anyway. They're wars of attrition. What? Yeah, this was a very, very visible game back in the day, and pretty much deservedly so. It's not a bad game at all. Okay. I've got two more to share with you. Next one is a scrolling shooter that I don't know too much about. But its title is fascinating. Prehistoric Isle in 1930. Definitely one of the more interesting titles there. That SNK startup sound that we've been hearing several times now. 3 buttons. Okay. 3 at the most, anyway. Ooh, we're gonna turn that down a little. Awesome though that was. Dino. That's solid music. Caution, Brachiosaurus. Lengthened wheat. During the 1930s, there have been many shipwrecks near the Bahama Islands. Therefore, we must conduct an investigation near the island where the accidents have occurred. Inquiry 1, Forest. That whole island looks like a giant insect. Other buttons not doing anything yet. Against pterodactyls here. What the? Okay, so I have to shoot open the egg, and then I can grab the power-up. If I touch the egg, I apparently crash. Aha! Alright, so I have a button to rotate it around my plane, and I seem to have a different weapon system out of it based on what angle it's sitting at. That's an interesting mechanic. Bouncing ground flame seems pretty legit. I kind of wish I had another button to rotate it back the other way, but that's actually not a thing, apparently. Oh, no! Get out of there! Ah. It's a very pretty game. Very nice music. I don't know how many speed-ups I actually want. Kinda going fast enough as it is. Oh, ah! Oh, nuts. Oh dear, it does that whole thing, like, egoing. Where if you don't realize you've died and you're still pressing fire, suddenly your initials are in. I'll give this another play. I'll skip the intros. This game did have a sequel. Prehistoric Isle 2. Came out in 1999, a full decade later. It was... What the... There is a caveman on my plane. It's slowing me down. Okay, there it goes. Sheesh. The sequel was actually produced by a different company by the name of Yume Kobo. But it was, of course, licensed by SNK. Or what existed of SNK at the time. And it was indeed produced on the NeoGeo. As a matter of fact, I seem to recall Lord BBH was playing it fairly recently. This is the original. Yeah, a decade. It's a long time between a game and its sequel, but there you have it. Yume Kobo made another sequel to a scrolling shooter on the NeoGeo. The pretty blatant R-Type clone Pulstar from ICOM they made a sequel to called Blazing Star, which is one of the most beautiful shooters ever. I love that game so much. Damn. Both of those got played on my, earlier... Oh, darn. Yeah, when I did, I think it was later NeoGeo Non-Fighters was when those happened. Yeah, those were the first 2 games I played on episode 18. T-Rex for the game over. I love that. That's Prehistoric Isle in 1930. It's a fun little game. Very good job of that. Yeah, the sequel on the Neo Geo uses ray-traced models as well for its graphics, if I recall correctly. Alright. I have to. I've got one more game to play. This, I believe, was SNK's final game pre-NeoGeo. And it's a little jank. But I'm gonna play it anyway. I've played it on stream before. I actually have a high score clip of it. Actually did decently for a change in one playthrough. Updated that sound effect slightly. There was an arcade in Boston that had this. I spent some time playing it. Here we have 2 nameless protagonists that are a heck of a lot smaller than the opponents they fight. Up, down, left, right, punch and kick. Jump. I think, yeah. You have probably already recognized that sound effect from POW. It's here again. The way that the characters move, you still have those weird knockdown style attacks and whatnot. Now, I actually want to pause it here. I did say 2 nameless protectors, but there is a long-standing rumor, as it were, that these characters were actually taken as a direct inspiration for fighting game characters later on. I can't confirm any of this, but the belief, and as we've demonstrated, SNK does like to reintroduce characters in their games later on. One thing that I do happen to know, courtesy of Lord BBH, actually, is that there was going to be an intended sequel to this game. However, in the interim, while this was being worked on, Street Fighter 2 came out, and SNK was like, holy crap, the bar has been raised. That's not going to cut it anymore. And they ended up redesigning things quite a bit and made something that was a lot closer to what's understood today to be a one-on-one fighting game than what you're about to see here. And the result of that was Fatal Fury. If Fatal Fury still feels a little weird, like it's not exactly a one-on-one fighting game, that's because it's a lot like this. Once again, you can have 2 people fighting co-op against the AI. As you can here. But in addition, these actual characters, if I can get a good shot on them here, this character right here is presumably Takuma Sakazaki. And this character right here, I forget his first name, but he's the father of Terry and Andy Bogard. That's the presumption, anyway, that these 2 characters here from Street Smart are the parents of characters that appeared in Fatal Fury and Art of Fighting later on. That was the approach that they took. But I have no confirmation of that. Oh, no. If I can time it right, I should be able to knock this guy up and then down, back and forth. Proper timing. You won't hit me at all. Ah. Come on. Ah. Ah! Back off a little. Maybe I can get him in it again. Ooh! It feels a little random what actual attack you get. I won't lie. And you gotta love this little effect. Ambulance from SNK Hospital comes out to pick up the fallen opponent. Championship. 2 words. Ah. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if this character here is supposed to be a relative of Bob Wilson. But that's not a rumor I've heard before. Ugh. Oh, really? Yeah. Any game where I beat this guy is a really good game. Ugh. Probably not gonna happen, though. Ah! Get away! I'm almost out of health here, yeah. No, he got me. It's fun if you're in the right mood, but the game is more than a little jank. Yeah. Enemy's still punching away there. Yeah, the game where I got the score that you can see there, I do have a highlight of. Someone actually requested this on Friday night, and I was dumb enough to play it. In some way, somehow, I actually got through with you guys. I don't think I would be repeating that anytime soon, actually. So that's why I highlighted it, but there you have it. Alright, it is after 2 a.m. here. And I do have things I need to take care of, so unfortunately, as much as I would love to give this another credit, actually love is a strong word for that, I am going to be calling it here. I hope you enjoyed this odd little retrospective on SNK from the days before they produced their NeoGeo hardware. Characters got brought back, some games had sequels, but all in all, they ended up building quite a bit of history. I don't think I had fully realized that SNK, has been around about as long as any other company has in the video game business, as they were founded in the heyday, and they actually invented things like continuing and life bars. I mean, these are pretty massive innovations for video games, and they debuted them. And just the fact that they ended up creating one of my favorite video game consoles of all time, you know, it's just icing. Just icing on top of that. But yeah, it has been, yeah, it was definitely educational for me researching it, and I learned some things just going through the games themselves, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. I definitely need to do more proper, fully researched Throwback Thursdays in the future, but yeah, there's definitely work involved in this. With that said, if you, yes, you out there, have any thoughts, ideas, themes that you would really like to see done on a future Throwback Thursday, please send me a message here on Twitch, or you can tweet me if you prefer. I would love to know what they are. And maybe, just maybe, I can make them happen. I would love to get the proper ideas. With that said, next week I am going to do another Throwback Thursday, another properly numbered episode, but it is going to be one of the open format ones, where I will actually take requests during the stream, as well as bring my own list of games that I can play. I have to do it once per season. It's going to be Pew 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 3! I have to do it. Doesn't have to be a scrolling shooter, just as long as there's pew 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 in it. I'll be willing to play it. Oh yes, and the other restriction is that it can't be a game I played in either of the first two pew pew pews. I'll have that list handy, in case anybody needs to know that, or you can watch them yourself in advance if you'd like. They're both highlighted. Beyond that, I don't know, but by all means, send me ideas, send me requests. Some of the ideas that I know have been juggling around, Korean games is actually a theme I would love to do at some point, but I'll have to do a lot more research on that. I figure another ladies' night is overdue by now. I'd like to make that happen. And yeah, I can do, developer ideas. I can do companies. One thing I might do at some point is just like a particular year and sort of give people a time frame. It's like, this is what arcades were like on this one particular year. That's another thing that I could do. Yeah, I thought about spelling it that way, Jezendar. I didn't want to, though. I something inside me, I felt a bit of pain just even thinking about spelling it that way, so I didn't want to. But yeah, that did occur to me. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to doing more in the future. Tomorrow night, of course, will be my request night. Because I skipped Friday last week, I will be doing 2 runs of Choice Chamber. But beyond that, the platform for the night will be the Xbox 360. Modernize it a little bit, but there are a lot of retro games on there. I suspect that putting retro as my stream title will still be extremely accurate. And of course, there are some people that consider last-gen retro anyway. I call those people ignorant, but there you have it. I have trouble calling the PlayStation 2 retro. PS1 I can kind of accept at this point, but to each their own. But yeah, I'm afraid I won't be able to entertain you any further this evening. And although normally I would love to go host somebody else, I know I myself can't stick around, and I hate saddling people like that, so I'm just going to let you fend for yourselves at this point. So, yeah, I know there's the Games and Demos title, although I'm pretty sure retro will still apply. But we'll see. We'll see. It depends on what gets requested, but I suspect most of it won't be social eating. No. No. When I am eating, I often just blank out the camera, but I do actually have a second mode to my paper here. I did actually prepare that in advance, but yeah, for the most part, I usually just blank the camera, actually, when that's a thing. But at any rate, yeah, it is what it is. Alright, I will give you a proper sign-off here. It has been a pleasure having you all here. I am glad you stuck it out with me. I had so many issues getting this stream started. I started, what, like 55 minutes late? Something ridiculous like that. Just, things kept going wrong. It was ridiculous. But, finally managed to come together. Got enough games out there for one episode anyway. And hopefully everybody involved learned something as well as found it entertaining. But until next time, I'm done. Take care. Enjoy yourselves. Never forget to play. I'll catch you next time.